Recently, I was able to witness the fights of 3 great warriors. His powers were completely absurd. I had never seen anything like it.
What it do? It's your boy, Dragon Ball Art 92. And I'm back with another Kamehameha reaction video. And today we're going to be doing a reaction video to Beyond Dragon Ball Super's Raijins history on Angel Merno versus the Dark Masters in the Demon Realm. But before we get started with the content today, you guys, make sure you like the video today to trigger YouTube's algorithm, so that way our video can be shared to a broader audience. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and become a part of the Dragon Ball Art family. And with that being said, let's get the party started.
Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined this Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next, unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else, what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Oh man, commercials already.
Now, although with Raijin now having to return back within the demon realm where he rightfully belongs, I can't help but shake this feeling that time is of the essence here, because now that we are all made very well aware of what it is that we are going to be up against, if we don't start getting our acts together and start to move quickly, do I only then fear for the worst to unfold?
I kind of like how everybody is deciding to explore the demon realm now, from Dragon Ball Daima to all the fan mangas that I've been seeing. And it's very interesting because now we're diving into areas that is untouched. And that actually makes any storyline great because we're stepping into the unknown. It's a mystery. I actually love that about storylines. Let's get back to the content.
As our story now continues, following the initial events of the Elder Demon God Raijin now having to be shown returning back into the demon realm with his demon protege Haas, which it was only following Raijin's actions and being shown having to liberate Haas from the clutches of our heroes in Universe 7 was when the terrified Haas went on to then plead by responding, Lord Raijin, please show mercy upon me, Master, for I didn't think that I would have been spotted by either of them while I was making my rounds and keeping an eye on what was happening. And so now please have mercy on me, as I wasn't intending on revealing anything to those creatures that would compromise our mission here either. And so please, Master, I beg of you not.
So kind of to give a recap, right? So this demon with the eye on his hand was actually spying on, Universe 7. He was actually spying on Beerus, Vegeta, and Whis on Beerus's planet. And what happened was Goku came back and Gohan was actually there, I believe. They were sparring on Beerus's planet. and Gohan happened to notice this demon spying on them, so they end up catching him. And right before Vegeta and them was go get information out of the demon, Raijin comes through and saves the demon from their clutches. So that's just to kind of give you guys a prerequisite of what's going on right now. All right, let's get back to the content.
Not to take my life, oh great one, for I am at your mercy, and do you think that I sent you on a mission, Raijin chimes in, just so that I would have to later go and clean up after your failures, demon? No, for you'd think otherwise, as you are pathetic, for you are but a mere tool and a broken one at that, as your inability to flee from a single god's wrath is but a testament to how unworthy you are of my mercy. And so now tell me, demon, what use is a servant who cannot even protect themselves, let alone fulfill their mission? With Haas responding, well, I just, please, master, I beg of you to just please give me another chance, because I know that I have the power to go. Oh, is that what you think? Raijin went on to then ask, so you think that you truly have what it takes to redeem yourself after such pathetic actions seen on that God of Destruction's planet now, do you? Interesting, and how can I be so sure that giving you a second chance would even prove to be successful, demon, as I would only go and think otherwise. To which, as Raijin was then shown using a binding energy grip and having to choke Haas within the air, was when Haas went on to then quickly respond, master, please, I can show you if you just please give me a second chance to redeem myself. Oh, is that so? Raijin questions. Well, perhaps I should rather reconsider your fate then, given how you've been quite useful in assessing Universe 7 and relaying valuable information to myself and the Dark Masters about what they've been planning. However, maybe on the other hand, I should go and put an end to your life now and end your miserable existence, since I'm not too keen.
Even though this Raijin character seems ruthless, because bruh, he seems ruthless as hell, to be honest with you, and he is basically torturing one of his own, but he actually seen that this demon was actually useful, and it's interesting to see how even the ruthless ones can see potential in their workers. But that also shows you how these type of characters want to perfect something, and they be willing to do anything to perfect whatever plan or whatever they're doing, even using their own as pawns, But yeah, let's get back to the storyline.
On handing out second chances after making a mockery of my title, or maybe instead of allowing for you to be given your freedom, Raijin continues, perhaps you ought to have your mind be enslaved so that you may go and do my bidding without having anything go wrong for you a second time, demon. But maybe perhaps this calls for a change to take its place, so that we may go and see to it that mistakes such as the ones in which you were shown having to make are never to be shown having to be made ever again, demon. And so now let us see on just what the outcome of what is about to happen here unfold then, shall we, demon? Raijin says upon nearly being shown having to tap on Haz's forehead. And as I can't help but now wonder on, will your fate be given a second chance for you to evolve, or has your fate already been sealed while you await your inevitable destruction? Exciting, isn't it? And so now let us go and find out, so do yourself a favor if you wish not to go and lose your head, and just simply hold still while we wait and see on what my magic is going to do with you once I come in contact against your flesh.
So he actually uses magic. Interesting. And I wonder if he's as strong or stronger than some of these guys of destruction due to the fact that he knows magic. And what type of god is this? Is this a god that's on a angel level? What's the hierarchy in the demon realm? Is my question, to kind of gauge where his power is, But let's keep going with the storyline, y'all.
Demon, with Haas responding, Master, please, don't, please Don't do that! But it was already too late, because with Raijin being shown having to tap on Haz's forehead as Haz was now beginning to transform was when Raijin then went on to continue, the more you go and speak, the worse that this will grow to become, and so now hold your tongue. For it would only now appear as though you were lucky enough to have escaped death, and now that I can see on which one of my options have been selected in having your fate be decided, Raijin continues, let this now go and serve as being a reminder of my will, along with having this be a moment where you will remember what will happen to you if you ever dare to make a fool out of my name and title ever again. To which this was now it, because with the Demon Haz now having to be shown undergoing a monstrous transformation and visually now looking very different by comparison to how he was before, was when Raijin then went on to continue, because now that you are far more powerful and while under my control in allowing for this to be what will guide you in moving forward, demon, let us now go and see if you are truly ready to avenge your name after all that's happened, for you will not be given another chance if you go and fail me again, demon. And so now listen to me and listen up.
The demon's transformation looks way better than his regular form. He looks more like a beast. Like, yeah, fuck with me if you want to. Straight up. Like, he'll put them hands on you.
Very carefully, as I will not go and repeat myself in the meantime, Raijin continues, but do not mistake this as a gift, demon, for it is a tool that you will go and use to carry out my will, as your mission is now clear. As you will go and take with you several of our most vicious demons, return to Universe 7 and annihilate those wretched rodents who dare to defy my will. For this will be your mission, but hear me.
It's about to go down, and you know that's a one hell of a way to redeem yourself. You go save the nigga off the planet, you make him transformed, and you send his ass back with warriors to destroy him. And Goku and them, they're not gonna take that lion down, bruh. You know, and I'm pretty sure Beerus and them is pretty pissed. And I'm wondering how Whis and the rest of them gonna deal with that. Are they gonna actually fight this time? You know, since the Grand Priest and the Zenos are kind of locked away due to the Super Dragon Balls. I'm just curious. Let's get back to the story.
Now, as you should go and consider this to be your second chance, though it will also be your last if you fail me again, and so leave no stone unturned and no mortal left standing in our way, but fail me again and I will destroy you without hesitation, because should you go and return to me in disgrace once more, then I shall devour your hearts for all to see while I rip your flesh apart slowly, with the Demon Haz responding, yes, for I understand, my master, and I will not go and let you down again as I once have, as I will go and crush everyone in my path in the 7th if it means honoring your title. Good, Raijin says. Now remember your task and destroy those mortals and leave nothing behind in your wake, and while the rest of the multiverse shall be scouted and dealt with in pieces, I hereby call forth for you to be summoned, Kaima and Garlock, as I will now appoint you both to your positions, as here is what I require of you, Raijin continues. As I will go and start with you, Kaima, you will go and take several of your allies into Universe 7, where I want you to go and discover the home world in which Universe 7's strongest happens to come from, and once you do, I want you to then go and destroy everything that those mortal creatures hold dear to their hearts, including their friends, family, and lastly, their entire planet. Leave no stone unturned, with the Elite Demon Kaima responding, understood, and it shall be done, my master, with Raijin continuing, good. And as for you, Garlock,
not knowing that going to Earth won't probably pan out the way that the demon thinks it will. But then again, we don't know, because we don't know how strong these demons really are, right? So it's going to be quite interesting to see these demons combat with our heroes. You feel me? Because, it's about to be a battle. And one thing that I quite don't understand about the series, too, is everybody pretty much has the ability to transform and to get stronger, except for humans. Let's get back to the storyline.
You will go and search Universe 7 for any mortal warrior with a dark enough soul that can be converted into an ally in order to further our cause, or I leave this up to you to go and find the strongest and most evil warriors to recruit for our main cause, because in order for this to go and work, I intend on using these mortals as mere puppets for my cause, and so you will go and bring them here upon having to find them when you do. Am I understood? As I do not intend to fail as I once did, and if everything goes accordingly to my plans, Raijin continues, then I shall have what I am looking for and complete my destiny by ushering in and bringing forth a new era into existence, as I will not go and fail a second time, especially not after I am given what is owed to me once the Dark Masters use the Super Dragon Balls, Raijin says, and while I gather together the others and send them off to go and complete their own missions, and I expect for the both of you not to disappoint me, because if you are to fail and if you are to not go through,
for Zeno and them to allow the Dragon Balls to be used the way that they were used, right? I think that was silly for them, and for a lot of reasons, right? And I think that they allowed the Dragon Ball, the Super Dragon Balls, to be too strong, because if it put them in a vulnerable position like this, it basically disrupts the whole system, of why they are leaders in the first place, so, but it makes the storyline good too, because naturally we would do things unintentionally, thinking that we're doing something great, but it can backfire on us, later on if they're used incorrectly, and that's what's happened with the Super Dragon Balls right now. The Demon Realm elites, that's what I'll call them, seem to got their hands on the Super Dragon Balls. And by doing that, they are able to put their plans of conquering the multiverse into effect. Because if Zeno and the Grand Priest was there, they wouldn't be doing none of that. Not at all. You feel me? But let's get back to the content.
with what it is that I asked of you, then just like that pathetic demon Haas before you, I will do unto both of you just as I will go on to do to him. Am I understood? And as I do not intend to go and repeat myself to you again, as the elite demon Garlock then went on to respond, yes, as you wish, my master, Garlock then responds, but if I may be so gracious enough as to ask you, but how exactly was it that he was able to learn about our mission, and what was it that you had went and set your sights on that had originally warranted for the Grand Minister's arrival, Garlock continues, for do you think that perhaps he will go and try to do the same thing again after he learns about your return? As Raijin then went on to respond, if what the Dark Masters say about the Grand Minister is to be true, then for the time being that repulsive angel will no longer be an equation within my plans, but he wasn't the one who had originally sealed me away during the Great War that was held here within this realm, but it was rather his firstborn and strongest angel offspring at that time, who went by the name of Merno. And with the Grand Minister taking notice...
Okay, so this is getting interesting. Now, we can kind of understand where his power level is. If he was fighting Merno, he actually has to be strong, because Merno was in a league of his own, bro. Like, literally. It took the Grand Priest to transform into his highest form in order to defeat Merno, his firstborn son. You know, that storyline, y'all should go back to Unreal and Gaming's channel and check out that whole Merno storyline, bro. I watched that at least 100 times, bro. The whole thing, bro. It's lit. It's lit for real, for real. Let's get back to the story.
And somehow
small business owners know 3 is better than 1. And with the Optimum Business Triple Play, you get 3.
Learning about my mission and finding and assembling together all 3 configuration cubes, Raijin continues, he immediately had decided to go and take swift action here against me in having to deem my disturbance as being too great and my power too dangerous for his precious balance to be kept. But before having to step forward to challenge me directly, which he decided not to go and do, he instead had went and given this task on over to Merno in not only placing his firstborn angel through the ultimate test here against me, but by also seeing on whether or not Merno had what it took to actually go and get the job done by succeeding, Raijin continues. And while this battle within the Demon Realm had also involved some of the multiverse's strongest mortal warriors and deities from that given era, Raijin says, the most troublesome and dangerous among them all was undoubtedly that angel Merno. For the Grand Priest had seen my knowledge of these configuration cubes as a threat to his very dominion, as the cubes themselves aren't what truly holds the power that I seek, but rather it is what lies deep inside of them once combined that further garners my curiosity. And if the rumors of the gateway that they can go and create,
that opens up a lot of doors. It reminds me of the what is them? The Infinity Stones from the Avengers. So if some type of cube has the power to disrupt the Omni King and the Grand Priest's rule over the multiverse, then that proves that there's something out there that's even stronger than them. That means they're not the supreme rulers. Quite interesting. And it opens up the storyline for a whole lot of more mysteries to be involved. Let's go.
are to be true, then the Grand Minister had every right to fear my potential, Raijin continues, and while I was within the prime of my power, it was only after Merno had descended upon the Demon Realm was when I had sent my legions after him, Raijin continues upon being shown having to see a flashback, and as wave after wave of my demons honed for destruction, each more fearsome than the last, had gone after him, only to have failed in the end, for none of them stood a chance as they all fell before him one by one, and while the horde grew stronger and the number of demons that I had sent kept fighting, I only then, upon having to see this angel in action here against them, had realized Merno's true potential, Raijin continues, and no matter what I threw towards his direction, he continued to grow stronger, sharper, and more refined with each passing battle, and although I knew that he did not possess the knowledge of the configuration cubes as his father did, Raijin continues, I only then knew that at that moment Merno had to be destroyed before he was able to go and find out more about them, Raijin says, and as I knew right then and there on exactly why Merno was sent into the Demon Realm to battle against our kind, for I knew that if someone like Merno, an angel with such power and freedom, could learn of the cube's purpose and power for himself, then he would surely become more of a danger than anyone could have possibly have anticipated, Raijin continues. But even while I stood...
And that's a good twist for the Merno storyline, because Merno was already overpowered, and if he had something that was powerful enough to disrupt the Omni King and the Grand Priest's rule, it would have just been over, because there was nobody that can beat him at first. Nobody. No, they all tried, bro. All the multiverses fighters, angels, and gods. It was a wrap. He was not playing no games, bro. But this is really getting real interesting. This storyline's getting deep. Let's go.
At the edge of obtaining and assembling all three cubes and having them bring me into the ether realm, I knew that something had to have been done in order to put an end to that rotten angel for good, because no matter what it is that my army had tried against him, I knew that something had to have been done, and that was when I had ordered for all four of the Demon Realm's Dark Masters to go on the attack in order to see if the angel could be brought down. But all the while, as this was shown happening, as I kept a watchful eye on Merno, I knew that even the Dark Masters weren't going to be strong enough to collectively go against him, which only made me that much more envious towards the power that this angel was displaying, Raijin continues, as I knew that if I was able to somehow go and acquire such a power as the one in which he was going and using against us, then it would simply go without question that there wouldn't have been anyone who could have stood in the way of getting what I wanted after assembling those configuration cubes. But try as the Dark Masters did against Merno, I went on to continue to watch on how one by one they all started to fall, even while attempting to attack him as a collective. But even as they did, Raijin continues, he continued evolving and seemingly grew stronger and stronger with each clash against them, almost as if the act of battle itself was forging him into something far more than what he was displaying out there against them. And while
Another commercial.
Check this. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right.
Having to watch this conflict unfold, I grew to despise these angels more and more as the fight dragged on, as even though the Dark Masters were my finest instruments of destruction and the first of many beings that I had created since the beginning of my reign, Raijin
Okay, so from what I make of it, he's like the Grand Priest of the Demon Realm. If the Dark Master, excuse me, are his instruments of destruction, basically they're like his god of destructions that he created, then it's basically like he's the Grand Priest of the Demon Realm. Let's go.
Continues upon having to see Merno battle against the Dark Masters. When I had went and sent them against that angel, it became clear that they had encountered a force that went far beyond their comprehension, as one by one, with each of them throwing themselves at Merno with the full extent of their might and power, and one by one as they did, the angelic warrior known as Merno had went as far as to dismantle them all with complete ease, almost as though each victory against my Dark Masters had served to strengthen his resolve and sharpen his focus with each passing moment, Raijin continues. And throughout that entire time, as I went on to watch this angel in combat against my Dark Masters, I knew that he had to be studied in order for me to learn more about his skills. And while I knew that we just had to go and destroy these angelic creatures in order for my cubes to be collected and assembled so that I may step through its gateway to obtain infinite power and knowledge, I also then knew that so as long as this Merno was in our way, then our options were extremely limited, Raijin continues. But even despite this, no matter how hard they tried and no matter how many of them had attempted to try and stop this angel in his tracks, it was only clear that this angel was very well trained, as the Grand Priest had went and taught this angel everything that he needed to know in order to survive a situation such as the one that he was placed in within our demon realm. And even as I went on to watch this angel continue to go and push my Dark Masters back more and more during their battle, Raijin continues, even the strongest Dark Master and second mightiest demon within the demon realm, Toro, had fell victim to Merno's power, which it was only then within that very moment as the former angel Merno was then shown having to grab and hold on to Toro's fist upon the middle of their battle, was when Toro then went on to quickly respond, "Why, you rotten angel, how are you this powerful that none of us Dark Masters, even while attempting to go and engage against you together, are unable to get through and damaging you in the slightest? For you cannot possibly hope to go and keep this up for long, because there must be some kind of a weakness that you have, and once we are able to find it, we are going to go and tear your..."
I wonder if the Dark Masters are even stronger than the Gods of Destruction. But like I said, Merno was in his league, in the league of his own. Like, he was really a beast, bro. And there was none of them that was going to be able to defeat Merno. And that's why he did go down there and do what he had to do. I understand why the Grand Priest sent him. You know, he was his best angel.
Flesh apart, and deep down you know that to be the case, Toro continues. And so you can go and continue to challenge and fight us as much as you would want to, but there will be no chance that we will go and allow for you to walk out of the demon realm in one piece, angel, because one way or another, we will find a way to break you. As Angel Merno then went on to respond, and while you may go and try as you'd like, understand that this is going to be as far as I will allow for you to all go here against me, no matter how many of you go and try to attack me all at once. And while neither one of you so-called Dark Masters are strong enough to rival me, you might as well go and call this battle off here against me now before I start ripping your souls right out of your bodies. Which it was only seconds after, with the Dark Masters then shown having to quickly attempt to gang up on Merno once more as Raijin went on to look down from beneath them, was when Raijin then went on to continue, "For Merno's power was unlike anything that I have ever encountered before, and as the Dark Masters continued to try and press him during their battle, Merno's power had seemed to continue to grow and evolve in response to their efforts, especially since he was given the task by his father in order for him to go and see if he had what it took to go and get the job done. And as he tore through my Dark Masters," Raijin continues, "it was only then where I knew that I could no longer hold back if I wished to truly go and stop him in his tracks. And while I gazed upon that power that he was displaying, I knew right then and there that I needed to go and have that for myself, Raijin says. For I would have needed to go and unleash everything that I had if I wanted to go and destroy that angel for good. But it was also strangely enough where I began to sense something deeper that had been lying dormant within him during that time, Raijin continues, and it was something in which I wasn't able to fully get a good read on until much later on. But even then, while I knew that there was something more to this angel, the time had went and called for me to go and face this creature for myself, because while I wanted to go and learn of the source of where these angels would go and get their power from, in order for my plans to finally be completed and for my mission to be realized, I knew that I had no other choice than to go and face this angelic warrior for myself. And if there was anyone who was worthy and strong enough to do battle and go head to head and stand against the Grand Minister's mightiest angel warrior, then I knew that this had only then left me with no other choice than to go and fight that angel personally, as it was only right then and there now during that moment.
So that's pretty much the end of the episode, and it's interesting. I definitely want to see what Raijin was able to do against Merno, because obviously we know that he lost because he was sealed away, but I'm pretty sure he gonna put up a real good fight, speaking how he was speaking. And the storyline is dope, bro. It's getting real interesting. I want to see what's going to happen. A few episodes earlier, they tried to revive Merno, and they wanted to use him, but that wasn't possible. That's one thing that was good, though. The Dragon Balls have limits, you know what I mean? So that was a good thing, and the Dragon Balls cannot, delete or kill the Grand Priest or Zeno, because it's not that powerful, but they are powerful enough to seal them away. And that's quite interesting as well. But it's good thinking too on the behalf of the Demon Realm elites, But that's it for the video today, you guys. Make sure you go check out Unreal Gaming's channel. Check out his storylines, his mangas. They be on point, bro. And one thing I can say, it reminds me of being canon. Like the storylines, when I get into it, bro, it seems like these can really be canon. You know what I'm saying? Bro be going in, Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And thank y'all for coming through and checking out your boy today. And remember to believe in yourself, because ain't nobody else gonna do it. Dragon Ball Art 92. I'm out.
Recently, I was able to witness the fights of 3 great warriors. His powers were completely absurd. I had never seen anything like it.